Hi everyone, happy birthday Gemini. I'm here to do my birthday reading for the Geminis for the year ahead, and or if you're not a Gemini and you want to utilize this reading for just messages for this Gemini time period of May 21st through June 20th, you can certainly use this reading in that way. Also, if you're guided here at any time and you're not a Gemini, you can use this for messages in any time period you want. I always say readings are timeless and it's all with the intention and how you're guided to the link and to the video. So anyway, happy birthday, Geminis. We're going to focus on that and the messages ahead this year. I'm going to open with the magical messages of the fairies, and then I'm going to be doing the reading with my rainbow rain. I switched up my birthday reading. If you're accustomed to watching these for this time period, you're going to see this change. Earlier in the year, I was using a different layout. I'm switching up to my fairy spread moving forward, and so from now on it's going to be my fairy spread that I do my birthday readings with, and I will put a link to it below, like I said. So let's just dive in. Enough of that. And so we're going to see what comes up for the Geminis for their fairy message for the year ahead, and or like I said, this time period, if you're using the reading in that way, which you certainly can. I do. When I'm doing these, I look at this for timing for that zodiac time period messages. Not sure if I'm pulling one or two from here on my rainbow rain deck, but we're gonna see. This isn't that lot. It's fearless. So being fearless, being very courageous, not allowing fear to stop us, right? I love that. Let's see what the fairies have to tell us, and it is patience, please. Because what you're asking for is coming about. Have patience, as there are unseen factors that need to occur first. So we can get really frustrated. I know I do with this patience situation. It's like I can be very impatient. And I feel like, yes, of course, we hear that a lot. And it can be that you need just a little bit more time. It's a Seven of Pentacles type of feeling. But I also feel it's all about timing. And I feel like the things that you have been patient, that you have been putting time in and waiting to come about, I feel like this is your year that this is going to happen. I feel like you've been having patience and putting time in. And I feel like that's going to pay off for you this year. Or if you're using this for this time frame, it can definitely be for this time frame as well. So I feel like it's about an energy where you have had to have patience, where you have had to put a lot of time in. And this is now the time. This is your year and or your month or 30-day period that it's going to happen. So I'm going to... Heaven has heard you and is working on your prayers. What you're asking for is nearly at hand. You'll receive the money you need. Keep the faith, stay positive, and continue affirming and praying. Your relationship with your soulmate will soon manifest. Wait before making a move on the topic you're asking about. So I feel for some, this is going to be what jumped out of that for me. You're going to receive the money you need. So in this year, if you're a Gemini, you're going to receive the money you need this year. This is going to be your year for capitalizing on your efforts towards your finances and your career. So it's going to go very well for you financially. If you're watching it just for this time period and you're not a Gemini, this time period, this 30 days, you're going to obtain the money you need. Also, what jumped secondary to me was your relationship with your soulmate will soon manifest. So if you're a Gemini, I feel like this is your year for your soulmate. Your soulmate's going to manifest and come near, and you're going to connect with your soulmate, or a very important soulmate in this upcoming year. I feel it's romantical. And if you're not, I'm trying to read it in two different energies, to apply it to this 30-day time period, your soulmate. So for some, this is going to be a double whammy. Because it's like two things. It felt like that to me. Two things. And that's exactly what jumped. Those two things in this year for Geminis and in this time frame for others, finances and relationships are going to accumulate, or you're going to hear about something that's going to be very encouraging is the word. It's going to be very encouraging. So I don't know if you're not a Gemini in this 30-day time period, if it totally solidifies, but it's really going to, you may talk to your soulmate if you haven't talked to them, and you're going to be like, hey, this is a little bit more, feeling a little bit more encouraging than it has in the past. Or if you're looking for a job, you got that call. You may go through the interview process in this 30 days. It's going to feel very much more doable is the word than it has in the past. And for Geminis, this year, you're going to see it come about. Okay, so that's the messages that they want us to know. So I love seeing that. And it's going to be like, you know, all that patience is paying off is pretty much the message here. So it's like patience has finally come into fruition. So let's focus on my spread here and see what they have to tell us with the Rainbow Rain deck. Okay. I will put a link to this reading below as well as my Rainbow Rain deck. I hope my shop is open for a little while longer. I will be closing it coming up soon, probably in a couple weeks, if not sooner. So it's a fairy ring. The first one is the fairy ring, the energy around you starting this year and or this time frame, and it is spiritual journey. So, you know, I feel like people that are drawn to this reading, or they're looking at readings on YouTube, they are very much in connection to their spiritual journey. So you're coming into this year, with a realization of where you're headed, on your spiritual journey. There is an energy where you are really looking at what direction. It feels almost like the 7, the Chariot card. I'm going to pull another one here, and it's satisfaction. Yeah. So it feels like, you've got, like, when I feel into the energy, it's like when I see the Chariot, sometimes I feel like it's like my chariots arrived. Like I've been walking and all of a sudden all along comes a car, and I'm like, say you're hitchhiking, which you're not supposed to hitchhike, but I'm just giving an example. And then along comes a ride, here comes a ride. So there is a sense of being kind of picked up, you know what I mean? And now you're no longer walking alone. You have a car, you feel supported. You feel like, the energy has arrived to move you forward. Not effortlessly, because you put in all the effort in walking along, right? So it's kind of going along in that aspect where now all that walking you've done, here comes the car, here comes the ride, here comes spirit. You are feeling supported, and you are getting that burst of movement forward, and you're feeling that satisfaction from that. And I love that in combination. So you're coming into that sense right now for Geminis for this upcoming year that, hey, everything is starting to come together. Here comes the support. It's arriving now. All this work I put in is really, pushing me forward, and I'm really cultivating the rewards for past effort. Okay. So you're really coming into that. And if you're not a Gemini, this time period, you're going to be realizing that you're going to get that boost forward, that movement forward. So the honeybees, a sweet treat coming your way, and it is temptation. I'm gonna use 2 the whole way through, and chat buddy. Interesting. So temptation is a little bit of like the devil card feeling, but chat buddy, this is throat chakra. Sweet treat coming your way is, of course, communication in some sense. That this could be somebody that you talk to, and, there is a little bit of with the temptation card, it could be sexual, somebody that you're tempted to talk to or you're tempted to connect to, but this is a sweet treat coming your way. So it's going to be, it's not like a devil energy where it's bad or it's negative. There's going to be, tantalizing is the word, tantalizing communication, with somebody that, you enjoy talking to. So you're going to have satisfactory conversation with others. So this could be a particular person you haven't heard from, or it could be just other people that maybe in the past you felt like you had argued or you didn't get along. Now there is going to be like it's like a satisfactory type of feeling in regards to this communication. So very interesting. Fireflies, how will you be shining your light this year? And it's fearless, which popped out earlier, and dinner date. So the dinner date one for me is the sacral chakra, and it's all about the, creating and co-creating. So I feel like you're really going to be inspired, and it's interesting, we have these 2 birds, and these 2 birds are on here as well. You're really going to be inspired to move forward and co-creating with others this year. because like I said, this is a sacral chakra feeling. It doesn't have to be sexual. It can be a sexual connection that you have once feared, and you're no longer fearing that connection. You're able to be more vulnerable. You're able to be more intimate. And when I say that, it's not always a physical intimacy. I'm talking about being able to share and be very present and share who you truly are without any masks or without any fears, right? So I definitely feel that's how you're going to be shining your light this year. You're going to be very open and vulnerable with other people, and where in the past you may have held back and you may have not shared who you truly are. And I feel like this is a specific someone, and it could be what this is. So if you hear from someone, it could be in that combination. But that is how you're shining your light this year, is just being more open and vulnerable in your connections with other people and in your co-creations with others, where you may have been a little bit more hermit-like in the past, not talking as much, not communicating as much, not co-creating with other people, maybe co-creating out on your own, and now you're kind of joining in with others. For some of you, it's a specific other, and for others, it's just, groups of people. Fairy magic, manifestation, someone or something good the fairies will bring into your life this year, and it is ancestors and secure. So it's a feeling of the beginning here, where we have things from the past. The ancestors are past energies, right? Energies that have worked in the past, like your ancestors, everything they did and accomplished, you're now, they've put all that in place for you to reap, on top of that. So you're kind of moving forward off of their energies, right? For good or bad. And so the good thing that's coming is the positive energies that your ancestors have worked for. So for some, this may be inheritances. I'm just giving you examples. For others, there's going to be a realization of how the things that your ancestors did energetically in the past are truly supporting you now. And you may be actually feeling ancestors that have passed away, supporting you and helping you on your journey forward. For others, this could be inheriting a home and getting an inheritance. But this is energies that have been worked for in the past from either yourself and or ancestors, and it's setting you up in a more secure way, moving forward, being more supported, okay? So that is the sweet tree. It's that feeling of, hey, Spirit has my back. And for others, it's going to be, wow, look what my ancestors did to work for and left that legacy. It's a legacy type of energy that you're really going to be tapping into. The gnome, something the fairies are helping you release. What energy or situation are they helping you purge? And it's preparation. We said Seven of Pentacles and crazy preparation and preparation. So yeah, that's okay. They're helping you release craziness. Anything that's feeling a little crazy or overwhelming, they're helping you release that. But preparation, that is the Seven of Pentacles. All the time and effort you put in. They're helping you cleanse that, because now is the time. This patience is paying off. So it is like now your time. So again, if you're not a Gemini, it's this 30-day time period. If you are a Gemini, it's going to work for you throughout this year, where you're going to see this year being your year to accumulate on past effort that you put in. It's repeating itself here. And so that is the message that they want you to, they're helping you release, is that preparing, constantly being told, patience, please, it's coming. We need time for things to unfold. That's what's cleansing. No longer hearing that, because for some, it can be crazy making. Like when I pulled that, I looked at it and I thought, oh God, patience, come on. We don't want to hear that anymore. And so that is what they're helping us cleanse. It's now time. No more preparing. The time is now. So they're purging the preparing part. It's over. It's time to reap the rewards. Fairy flowers, invitations or good energy the fairies are bringing to you in love, family. So a lot of support. And there's the two birds. So, okay, it says warning gossip, but the two birds are coming up. I feel these sweet treat coming your way is a partner that you're tempted, and you may have already talked to this person. This may be somebody from your past. Again, we have a lot of past energy bringing in support in this reading. So, and somebody that you are going to be more open and vulnerable with and sharing, experiences with. But this is kind of in the same type of energy here because of the two birds coming up. I'm not seeing it as a warning gossip. I'm seeing it as support and referring back to these two birds. And I knew when I saw this, there was the two bird symbology was going to be important. But the family energy is the elephant, which is Ganesh energy, and that is a obstacle remover and support. Family, the elephant family sticks together. They take care of the elders and the young. They are a tight-knit group. So there is, between two people, the two birds, like two lovebirds, there is going to be more support, more of that tight-knit type of energy. Okay, love that. And obstacles removed. Fairy wand, a good surprise, unexpected surprise this year. Powerful communication with, and again, birds. So I feel it has to do with relationship, and we have freedom. Oh my gosh, another bird. So I feel like, this is that song, Free Bird. Yeah. Unexpected surprise this year is that there's going to be an ability to communicate more freely with a specific romantical loved person, you know, someone that you have a romantical connection with, and other people that, you know, you are connected to. But there's going to be an ability to speak your mind and truly be accepted for, you know, what you have to say. Feel like you're being heard and listened to. Where there could have been miscommunication breakdown in the past, there's going to be powerful communication where you're free to express yourself and you're feeling very supported at the same time. And it's kind of repeating itself. Again, I feel like for many, the two birds have repeated themselves here 1, 2, 3, 4 times. They're here and they're here. So, and for everybody that could be a different message, but it's a symbol. Two birds are a symbol for Geminis. Oh, okay. These Geminis are twins. That's kind of funny. Two twin birds. That's going to be something that, you know, could be a sign from spirit too when you see that. But there's going to be an ability to have freer communication, which means you feel like you could say what you're really thinking. Again, going back to being vulnerable and open. That's the good surprise. Outcome and overall new energy coming in for this year. Unconditional love. Oh my gosh, I love this one. And, you know, which is the owl. I almost feel like this represents a couple. Like one is the dog and one is the owl. But the owl represents intuition and the high priestess, right? And just knowing you're loved by another. But that comes from knowing you're loved by spirit and knowing you love yourself, you know, that you are spirit, you are that I am presence, and, you know, you are that love. And so that embodiment gets mirrored back to you, right? Mirrored back by this unconditional love. And so that is the message that's coming. That is the overall message, is that, you know, inner knowledge, that knowingness of that unconditional love and that realization. And again, for some, it's going to be in this 30-day period. And for others, it's going to take, you know, over the span of this upcoming year for Geminis. But you're going to have that inner, you know, realization that, and then reflected back to yourself. So I love that. What can you give to the fairies in return this year to have them continue working with you? I love this little one. We have going home and property finances. So with home and property, I feel like all seasons. You can see there's summer and winter here. So not to neglect the fairies in the winter time. If where you are, you have winter, you know, you have all the seasons. Some people just have like, it's all warm all the time. But if you're somewhere where there's different seasons, making sure you include the fairies in the winter time, because they can feel a little neglected out there, right? Or, you know, bring the plants indoors, right? They want a home and through all seasons. So making sure you have a space for the fairies all the time in all seasons in and around your home. Inside, I'm feeling like indoors and outdoors. It's like, hey, make us a space inside with plants and little pebbles or whatever, or flashy lights, or, you know, your little space that you do for your fairies. Make sure you have them inside and outside in all seasons. They're really putting that energy is important. Like, we want to be able to, have a space of our own, a secure space of our own all year round, in and around your home. So that is a beautiful ending message for us with this Gemini birthday reading. So happy birthday once again to all Geminis. And it looks like an amazing year ahead for you guys, and or a month for those that are not Gemini and looking at this just for the time frame. Angel blessings to everyone and oceans of love.